So today on the shop we pull some axles. We find out that when you run a posi track you should always add extra water for cooling. So let's get to it. I want to take my traction bars off to the Camaro, which are down here. And don't mind the cobwebs from this thing sitting for so long. Look at that, that's nasty. I want to take these things off, and they used to be chrome, and I'm going to take one off at least right now, and I'll handle the other one later. But I want to take it off and clean it up and paint it black. And then later I'll probably take the leaf springs off and do the same things. Just a little bit of touch up due to the fact of I'm working on this rear axle, and I'm waiting to go get my tool to pull these axles to get to the bearing and the seal behind it. Then once I do that, I'll put a new wheel cylinder on there for the brakes. I'll order some new brake pads, and we'll get the rear done, and then we'll move on to the front. But today, like I said, we're going to do these traction bars. So let's get to it. Alright, so we got these two brackets for the rear. They go through here, and as you see it still has chrome on here. We got the two U-bolts, which we'll clean up. We got the hardware right there, and then we got this that we're going to clean up. This thing's hard, but it might do. We might can switch it out another day. But right now we're just going to kind of polish this up real quick and get it painted black, because look at all that. This thing's been sitting too long. So we're gonna make this thing prettier. Not the prettiest, but prettier. So the thing I like to do with nuts and whatnot is I like to find a little container, which I have right over here. All my piles of stuff. Little container. Throw this one on the floor. Whoop. Alright, we take this. We can either use Simple Green or WD-40. I like WD-40 because it pretty much eats everything off of it. So bring it back over here so we don't lose our place with it. Soak it. And let it sit in here. So let it sit just like that. That's the way I like to do that. This I'm going to take the wire wheel too. I'm going to clean these up, and these as well. So let's get over to the wire wheel. Safety first. Now that we've got these all cleaned off, I'm going to take some brake cleaner and clean them up a little bit more, getting some of these little other grooves that didn't get. And then we're going to take them and spray paint them. Spray paint them with the same color, black, that we're going to spray paint this traction beam. So I'm going to clean all this off, get the wire wheel out, and do this one too. That's what I'm going to do now. so I'm using this as a rust protector. I need that. But I only have one can. I need to go get some more. So like I said, I'm going to do this one on camera, and then the other one I'm not. I'm just going to handle it because it's exactly the same thing. Y'all don't need to see double the work, I guess. So I'm just going to spray all this down here, put a couple of layers on it. Once this gets put back on, these, what do you want to call them? U-bolts. Once they get put back on, after I do the leaf springs, I'm going to repaint the threads so that they stay nice and shiny instead of rusty. So let's paint these things. Alright, so they both got their first coat on. Tomorrow or the next day I'll get another coat in. And then probably a third coat. Top, bottom, side, everything. So that it's protected as much as it can be. So this is not the ideal way to do it, but it makes it prettier for the time being. Because you see this one, it's got holes all in it. So right now I'm not ordering one. Later I will. Just a traction bar. It's not like it's going to cause life or death if I don't have it. Hell, I don't even have to put them back on. But it doesn't look half bad under the car where you can't really see it. And it still works. It's pretty strong, pretty sturdy. So I'll order another set sometime in the next couple months. But until then, these are going to work. So, yeah, you'll see me when these are dry. Alright, so these are all back together. Bump stops are back on, got everything cleaned up, everything's pretty. Bolts are still sitting in WD-40. So now we're going to come around here and do what I've needed to do, and that's pull these axles. So the way I got to do that is I got to get back here to the diff, which I'm going to lift up a little bit more in a certain way, put some jack stands under it, and pop that cover off. And once I pop the cover off, I'm going to drain the fluid. I'm going to clean that back panel up anyway, or that cover. But there should be two C-clips inside the differential that pop these out. So hopefully I can get those C-clips off and just pop these things out and make it easy. Clean these things up and get ready for new seals and new bearings. Yeah. Start working on that. Alright, I get to use my OLSA Tools SAE set. So this is my 1/2 inch set, deep well, and we're going to be using that today. So let's get this diff covered off. Alright, well, yeah, this is not, yeah, this isn't oil, this is water. Why is there water in my differential? Probably because it's been sitting for 10 years and been flooded a few times. And I don't think there's a vent that has been out of the way from water. There's some oil in it, but it looks more like mud than oil. And then the water, I don't think there's supposed to be that much oil and water in your differential. So the good thing is it doesn't look like a lot of rust. I mean, as you see up there, it looks pretty clean up here. But yeah, we're gonna have to clean some stuff up because this This just does not look right. So, yeah. Let's get this stuff out of the way and try and spray some of this out. Some brake cleaner and some rags, so when we go to put more back in, it's clean. So, let's do that. Alright, well that was kind of interesting to check my water level in my differential. I gotta open this door. It takes two hands. Alright. So, need to put it in neutral. There we go. And now I gotta rotate the entire assembly to where I can get to my clips. So, see if this will happen. Yeah. Maybe not. Alright, well, learning with these axles and whatnot, there's a hole right here. It's meant for the axle, I guess, retainer. But look at that. Look at all that nastiness right there. Let me grab my magnet. Look at all this. Look at all this. Water, rust, everything. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna blow all this out. Clean this thing up. Look at this axle shaft. Muddy, nasty. I'm gonna have to clean all this up before it goes back in. This is gonna be more of an adventure than I expected. Don't mind my trash pile right there that's going away. But, I mean, just look at that. I got replacement bearings, but the good thing is there's no C-clip, so it just bolts back in a whole lot easier than I thought, because the way the posi track is, there's no way to get a C-clip out. So I'm happy I didn't break stuff in the process of looking at this. But yep, I'm going to clean this up real quick, probably put it in my parts washer a little bit and put some degreaser everywhere and then wash it all out. So let's start cleaning. Ooh, that's nasty. That's nasty. Well, I want to thank you for joining in to another episode of the shop. Today was quite dirty and nasty. Learning that this rear end has a lot of neglect, and make sure you always add water for better cooling to your rear ends. That's right. But I want to thank OLSA Tools for helping me out with some sockets. And yeah, I want to thank y'all for joining in to another episode of the shop. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit up down below anything that you saw in this video, like OLSA Tools. You can get just 10% with the code down below on their website. So, like I said, I want to thank you again, and until next time.